A dark Texas road, a blazing object in the sky. Minutes later, witnesses claimed they were burned, sick, and surrounded by military helicopters. Was the Cash-Landrum incident a UFO encounter or something the government never wanted to explain?
Cash, raise it high. Cold beer stories under the sky. Cryptids crawling, ghosts in the grave. Something calling your name again. We don't run, we don't hide. We just take it in stride. One more round, one more side.
What's going on, crackheads? Welcome back to another episode of the Cracking Cans Cast, a podcast where we crack open a cold one and dive into the weird, the haunted, and the straight up cursed. I'm one half of your Cracking Cans duo, Corey. Sitting over here is Mike, and we fixin' to throw another episode at you tonight.
I'm just hoping I can read this episode. I am like 0 for 12 trying to read the intro.
I
So.
know, I'm running out of timestamp room
Yeah,
on my little
just for the intro.
on my little scrap paper.
It's not
here.
great.
Yeah, well,
It's not great.
only up from here, folks.
But yeah, we celebrated Memorial Day. Spoiler alert, we're a week or so ahead of when this episode's coming out. We celebrated Memorial Day today. So we want to thank those who died in the line of combat for us. We really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you probably won't hear it unless you're the spirit
Mm-hmm.
of a location that maybe we'll cover someday.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys out there allowing us to be stupid and talk about fun stuff.
Yeah, that's how it.
So,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
how it is.
Yeah, so how was your Memorial Day?
I don't know, terrible. I had to work on a chicken coop and deal with stinky ass chickens all day. That's about it. How about you?
I cleaned some really stinky gutters and mowed my lawn, so
Yeah, so about as eventful as mine, huh?
yeah.
So I guess with that, we'll get right into this episode and get into our beer.
Let's hear it.
So we're going to have a brew from Pizza Boy Brewery. And since 2002, when their founder, Al Kaminsky, also the head brewer, he's channeled his adoration of great food and beer into an entrepreneurial
Hey, that was good.
endeavor and labor of love known as Pizza Boy Brewing. Though much time has passed since we opened our doors, our legacy of innovation, growing, and keeping our customers extraordinarily happy indoors. As our story continues, we hope you will be part of it for many years to come. So that's right off their website, Pizza Boy Brewing Company. And
This is our second one from them, right?
is it our second one?
I
I know
believe.
we've drank them before. I think
I'm pretty sure I don't know if this is updated, but
I know we did a live on our live. We had one, so they're out of Enola, PA, right outside Harrisburg. Me and my wife went there. It's a fun little. It's like a pizza joint, more so than a brewery. Gives you that good pizza feel.
yeah,
So
I haven't been there yet, but I'm jonesing to get there.
as for the beer tonight, we're going to drink Fermonuclear. It's a hazy imperial IPA that brings a full blast of juicy citrus, tropical fruit, and a dank hop aroma with a smooth, pillowy mouthfeel. You know how I love my mouthfeels.
I love my pillows.
There we go. At 8%, it packs a strong hop punch without getting harsh, finishing clean enough to keep you coming back for another sipski. As for the tie-in, Fermonuclear is the name of the beer, being a nuclear explosion of flavor. And with a nuclear explosion comes the fallout, the sickness, the tumors, and the disease, which are all symptoms that the people involved in this sighting had to deal with for years and years to come after the encounter. So with that, let's cheerski to this brewski.
Cheerski. Drink ski. That's good ski.
Yeah, it is good ski. It's good beer. It's definitely, you taste the alcohol in it.
Oh yeah, you definitely taste the 8%er.
I thought, judging by taste, I thought it'd be a little higher than 8.
It does taste higher.
But yeah, it's just a solid 8%er. It's a good beer. I have bad experience with this beer. I told you beforehand because I drank this beer the night I drafted my one team that I got eliminated week 1 for fantasy football. So I also drank one of their other beers. Which one? It's like glitters, spandex, and something.
Didn't we have that for?
That was what we drank for the live, I think, when we did our live that you can catch on YouTube. It's still up. Well, I mean, it's always up, but you can go back and check out our live where it's just me and Corey arguing before we got kicked off TikTok for bullying. Just another day in the Kraken basement. But yeah, I like the Pizza Boy Brewing Company. I think their beers are good. Like I said, it's a fun little place to go if you're ever in the Harrisburg area. It's only like 5 minutes from Evergreen, so super close. What do you think?
No, I like it. It's
right.
good. It's
a beer.
nothing really like jumps out at you. It all blends together very nice. It's goes down smooth.
It's an explosion of flavor.
Yeah, it's gonna explode right in my stomach.
Okay, and with that,
Let's go there. Wait, where are we going?
we're going to the sauces.
Okay, you got sauces?
Yeah, I got sauces.
Sauces.
Two main sauces I use for the episode, unsolved.com and science.howstuffworks.com.
Ooh.
I also watched a bunch of YouTube videos. There's also a Unsolved Mysteries episode for this one I watched. So it says this is definitely an interesting encounter. I think this one, there's a lot of parts of this story that I think really make it stand out from other encounters that for sure we've talked about on this cast, but just other encounters you read about. This one, there's a couple things with it that really make you something went on there for sure, whether it's alien or whatever, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So the story takes place on December 29th of 1980. It involves Betty Cash, Vickie Landrum, and her 7-year-old grandson, Colby. Both women were in their 50s, so what do you think that they would be doing? What do you think two active grandmothers would be out doing on a random night in December? Where do you think they were headed?
Bingo.
The bingo hall. That's where they were headed.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the bingo hall was closed that night.
They were heading to bingo.
They were heading. That's where they wanted to
Hell
go.
yeah,
They wanted
hell
to go
yeah.
to bingo.
I want to clap. Give me a little clap. Give me a clap thing there.
I'll insert claps now.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. So they were going to bingo. Bingo hall was closed because of the holidays being right between Christmas and New Year's. So they ended up just going out for dinner at a local truck stop. And at this point, they were heading home, driving down State Route 1485 just outside Houston. So this is a heavily wooded area in rural Texas. So you got to they're thick trees on each side. They're just driving through the woods. There's a couple breaks on it where there's some fields and everything, but for the most part, it's really dense trees on each side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
It was around 9 p.m., and they were on their way home from dinner. That's when they saw something lighting up the sky just in front of them, hovering over the road. It was a bright light that was lighting up the entire sky, and they sat watching it for a while. They kind of eased up to it, and that's when they could start feeling, coming from it, an intense heat. Like their car started getting hot. This heat was unlike anything they'd ever experienced before, and their faces and skin were instantly heating up. This makes me think a lot of when I have a late night hot dog run. This could just be like a case of aliens trying to warm up their dinner a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just pop it in the nuclear wave a little bit.
Yeah, heat those dogs.
Oh yeah, heat them dogs.
Mm.
You know, the aliens got them dogs in them.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of dogs they like. You think they like beef or turkey?
People.
People dogs.
Yeah, people dogs.
Yeah, you're right. Probably people dogs.
And really, all dogs are just lips and asshole anyway. So
Yeah, it's all just grinded up.
yeah. So you figure old ladies probably would be even better flavor.
Yeah, could be.
Especially if they're all dolled up to go out to bingo. So
Yeah,
they had good lipstick on and stuff like that.
Yeah, and some what's it called?
High heels.
Perfume.
Perfume. There you go. We were on the same page.
High heels.
So as they're rolling up to the bright light, Vickie, who was riding the passenger seat, she braced herself because they slammed the brakes on so hard. Her handprint from the bright light left a mark embedded on the dashboard of the car.
Because of how hot it was?
Because of how hot and how bright the light was, like a combination of the two. So can you imagine how, like, that's some heat or some light coming off that thing?
So, like, when you said that, it made me think of, like, this son of a bitch took, like, some type of X-ray image.
It could be.
Like,
you know what it reminded? It reminded me a lot of the shadows that were left behind after the explosions, like in Hiroshima.
yeah.
Where you'd see people's shadows were burned in the concrete from how bright the lights
Yeah.
and everything were. That was the first place my brain went.
Yeah.
And this, of course, the women, they got out of the car to get a better look at the lake, I guess. See if they could describe this thing.
Oh, wait. Hey, it looks bright in here. Let's see. Let's get out and
I
see
bet
if
it won't be as bad outside.
Oh, yeah. It's just as bright out here, too.
So one of the women even said at first they thought it was the rapture. It was the second coming of God. And there was nothing else that they could think to even describe what they were going through. So I believe, and this wasn't noted, but I can kind of infer that this is the case. I believe when they got out of the car, they said, "Oh, sweet baby Jesus." You're thinking of the rapture on the mind. I feel like that'd be the first thing you'd say. "Oh, sweet baby Jesus."
I was thinking of the beer.
The beer.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Sweet baby, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
My mind's on the beer.
Okay. Now, also, what would be your reaction? To get out and take a closer look, or to say, screw this, let's get the hell out of here?
I mean, honestly, my gut feeling right now is to get the hell out of there, right? But if I'm putting myself in the moment, I'm probably getting out to take a look.
I don't know if I'm going to get out. I'm definitely going to probably sit there and watch a little bit from the comfort of my car.
I'm going to analyze, see what's going on.
So, yeah, just the fact that they decided their face is basically on fire, so they thought if we get out, it won't be as bad, I guess. We'll take a closer look.
And there was nothing else going on in this area at that time? There was no, like, forest fires or wildfires?
No, there's
like
no
that going on,
wildfires now. We'll get in later. We're not far from an Air Force base located there, which will come into play here in a little bit. But there's nothing as far as any kind of fires or really any disasters in this area was going on at this time at all.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long after they got out of their vehicle that they knew they needed to get back in their vehicle and get out of there. So they grabbed the door handle, and they later said the door handles felt so hot they had to put their hand in their shirt to open the door handles back up. So they put their jackets over their hand to prevent from extreme burns.
I've been there before. Like that situation. Well, with a frying pan.
Yeah.
You know.
I thought you meant in your car. I was
No,
thinking,
but
what?
like I can imagine it just not being a frying pan, but like a door handle. Same thing.
Yeah, so
it's hot.
I just think of the 7-year-old kid that's cooking like a thing of bacon in the back seat right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Of this hot frying pan.
Yeah, they left him in there, huh?
Yeah. Some claims say that when they got back in their car, it wouldn't start, leaving them to sit for over 20 minutes in this intense heat.
Hold on, before you continue though, I want to see if it's just like every other alien, not every other one, but a lot of alien stories that we've talked about where once this shit goes away, shit starts right up.
Oh, that's what ends up happening, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah, there's definitely stuff that happens that leads up. So in a panic, they're sitting there, they're trying to turn their car over. Eventually, the craft starts to move off a little bit. And as soon as it starts moving off, the car starts back up. But that's when around 22 military-grade helicopters start surrounding this object in the sky. Years later, they described all the helicopters knowing that they were military-looking helicopters. They said they looked up pictures and identified the copters as being
Black Hawks?
They were Boeing CH-47 style. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Later, Cash said that she could see U.S. Air Force printed on the side of the helicopters. So they could actually visually see that these were U.S. military helicopters surrounding this UFO in this moment.
We're in Texas.
In Texas. So at this point, it makes me ask what's scarier, the fact that they saw a UFO or the fact that the government was in hot pursuit? See what I did there, hot pursuit?
I do. That's pretty cool.
So, they knew it was there. I don't know if this was the government responding, but really, it's pretty quick response time.
Especially that many helicopters.
Yeah, like...
it wasn't just like one helicopter went out because they saw it from their post.
No.
It was like...
I don't know what you call a whole flock of helicopters.
Probably a flock. I like that. Like birds.
So, what is it? Do you know what a flock of ravens is called?
No, I've been learning a lot about birds and stuff with the boys in some of their books, but
Okay.
I know what a group of sharks is called.
That's not a bird.
A shiver.
That's not a bird.
I know, but that's all I got.
Sharks swim. They're in water, Corey.
but
they don't have wings.
They fly in the water though. They're built planes.
Okay.
Listen, planes and
I
stuff.
thought you were learning about birds.
Well, planes are built Well,
Planes
birds.
aren't birds either. Planes are man-made devices.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't know where I'm going with this.
So a flock of ravens is called an unkind of
I
ravens.
think I did know that.
Much like a flock of crows is a murder,
Mm-hmm.
Ravens they're just unkind. So they're not as bad, I guess, as crows. Not as ominous. So now at this point, do you think this is alien related or government aircraft testing? Because they aren't far from the Air Force Base, and I think most of Texas is surrounded by some sort of Air Force base or military base. Like they're all over down there.
I feel like it has to be alien. I don't see how many helicopters was it? You said
Like 22.
20. Yeah, 22. I don't see 22 helicopters coming that quick just for a random test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't see it. I feel like it has to be some type of like I don't know. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of.
Sharks.
No,
Might
not
have been a flying
sharks.
shark.
Could it like Sharknado?
Sharknado.
No. Yeah.
All right, so the next day, Vickie and her grandson woke up with what looked like severe sunburn on all their skin that was exposed to light. So anywhere where their shirt was covering, they weren't burnt, but anywhere where any kind of skin, their face, all that was exposed, horrible sunburn on it.
When you just said that, I was thinking of all the scientists that died and stuff. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Where like the girl was at her
Right.
computer or whatever, her hands burned. I'm just thinking, what if this, like the story you're going over and stuff, was some type of aliens or some other type of technology from another world? And because this was in the 80s, you said, right?
Yep, 1980.
So then we found this craft, we got this technology, right? And then we somehow were able to use this technology and turn it into, recreate it or make it, weaponize it. And then that's what kind of we weaponized to go after those missing or, the scientists that died.
You're really thinking the government
Yeah.
is smart. That's where the wrench is thrown in, because I've seen our government.
Yeah. Well, you've seen the puppets that we think is the government.
Right.
I think there's this whole like shadow realm that's actually running like the entire
Well,
world.
probably.
But
Yeah, they're called pharmaceutical companies.
yeah,
And
gas
big
companies.
oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so this really lets you know how bright the lights were coming down from the craft, that it could leave just a semi-permanent, for days to come on their skin.
That's hot.
So this seems awful, but believe it or not, they actually got off pretty easy when you look at what Betty is about to go through. But before we get into Betty, let's take a beer break ski.
Beer break. All right, folks, we're back from the beer break and ready to hear more about some alien or possible alien abduction encounters.
No abduction.
Not yet.
Not at all.
Okay, well,
Spoiler
alien sightings.
They didn't revisit.
Okay.
We're getting back into Betty. Oh, black bottom Betty. So Betty woke up the next day with a really high fever. Her body temperature was just through the roof. They were saying it was up to like 105, pushing 106 fever.
Like death.
She also had redness like a sunburn, but it was much worse. It was the point where there was blistered skin, and she had severe diarrhea.
Ooh.
Which I guess in a lot of cases of really bad sunburn, you can get severe diarrhea from it. I never experienced that before.
I've had really bad sunburn in Mexico.
Did you get severe diarrhea? Well, then you don't know if it's diarrhea from...
Right, because...
Yeah, that could go a lot of different ways there.
In the water, the
Yeah.
food, who knows, but...
So over 4 days, her condition got worse and worse. Her lips were swollen 3 times the normal size, and her eyes were red and watering, and she couldn't get it to stop. And after 4 days, she ended up going to the hospital in Houston, and they
4
admitted
days?
her to try and see what was going on. 4 days is crazy.
105 fever, like,
Crazy.
that's high.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I don't know what the temperature is for, like, death, but it's got to be pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't scared, though. I guess
she
because
ain't
she's old.
Yeah, old.
She probably did some old-timey tricks to try and get rid of it.
Fucking witch.
Like put, snot under your pillow,
Mm-hmm.
and it just brings your temperature right down. So she ended up going to the hospital in Houston. It took a few days until they finally started to treat her.
For what?
They finally started treating her for severe radiation poisoning. They couldn't figure out what to treat her for like 3 to 4 days. They're just running tests, couldn't figure it out. And that's finally what they came. She just had severe radiation poisoning. So this involved a 3-week treatment during her time in the hospital. They noted that she lost over 50% of her hair. It was just falling out in clumps.
It's like she's getting like chemotherapy.
Well, yeah, which is
That's
radiation.
what I'm saying, yeah.
It's like all the same symptoms.
Yeah.
And Betty was treated by a Dr. Brian McClelland. And he was actually quoted as saying, "There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Betty was exposed to high doses of radiation. As to what the source was, I can't exactly say." So at this point, what are your thoughts on everything post-sighting that we've gone over so far?
I'm still thinking it's some type of otherworldly entity that's here letting out all this radiation, and all those helicopters came to try to stop it.
I guess I could see radiation coming from a UFO craft because they need some juice to get here from wherever they're coming from.
Yeah.
So could there be some kind of nuclear chemistry that even we don't understand that they're using to just power their crafts and everything? That very well could be.
And the book I'm reading on Roswell.
You still reading that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still got a lot left,
Yeah.
but I'm like slowly like.
I'm like, I got through The Hobbit and halfway through The Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, that's good. Good job.
Freaking hammering that son of a bitch out.
Yeah.
We'll do an episode on hobbits.
Yeah. But they talk about the craft and stuff like that was found, and they can't determine how this thing like fueled itself.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, just because the technology is that far advanced that we have no idea how this thing was even like going. There was no buttons, nothing inside. It was just, there was the inside of it, and that was it.
I feel like there's got to be some sort of like regenerative fuel that they use on these things, because the amount of fuel you would need to go galaxies away to come to our planet.
Yeah, and the one thing I read too in this book is that some of these aliens were wearing these type of like headbands or something that they believe is what steered the spacecraft.
They could have just been huge Richard Simmons fans too.
Yeah, could have been. Could have been.
A little workout in.
Yeah, workout in.
I mean,
coming to Earth.
I might add him to the list of people I would. I think he died though.
Yeah, we'll resurrect him though.
Yeah, if they have the technology to get here, they can probably just bring him back.
Bring him back. Yeah.
I would think so.
He probably froze himself, just like Walt.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'd want him before Walt.
Yeah, because Walt was,
yeah, he's just a chain smoking son of a bitch.
Racist.
Well,
could have been.
Could have been.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Not that we're racist.
We're not.
But if you are racist, you're welcome to listen to our podcast. If you're not, you please do. If you're not racist, that'd be great. So at this point, this story started to get the attention of a local UFOologist named John Schulzler. He was one of the only people really taking their claim serious, much like we see in other cases like this. It seems like all these cases, there's one person that just looks at it and it's like, son of a bitch, there is something here. Everybody else just kind of laughs at him. I don't know if I put it in here. We might get to it later, but Betty was like both of these women, but mostly Betty was laughed out of her church. Like she was asked to not come to her church anymore because she was making these UFO claims and things like that.
Wow.
Like they just thought you're just a kook. You need to go get help. You need to find you some Jesus. I know you thought you saw the rapture, but it wasn't. Maybe it was. We don't know.
You need to find yourself some Jesus, but you can't do that
yourself
here.
some Jesus.
But you can't do that here.
But go do it somewhere else with the other crazies that we don't want in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So he was quoted as saying, "We have done several interviews with Betty and Vickie, and then we went out to the location where this happened. They were very clear on where it happened and how it happened. They told us exactly where along the road they stopped because there were markers to identify the spot. They were able to point out exactly where they saw the object coming down out of the sky, over the road, and hovering there, and they were able to point out a spot on the road that indicated that it had been heated to an extreme level of heat. It was burned, and it was very clear to the naked eye that it was burned. Several weeks after we went to the spot and saw this burned area, someone dug up the road and hauled it away and replaced it with new asphalt. Some of the witnesses that watched this happen said people brought in unmarked trucks, dug up the road, put the materials on the trucks, covered it with asphalt, and drove away. So now it is obviously the government was known to this by all the helicopters, we can assume. Now there are other locals involved to be able to see the cover-up that is going on. So he went and interviewed other locals. Other locals said that during the incident, they heard noise that sounded like a freight train in the night. They also heard and saw the helicopters that came to the area around the craft. One witness was a police officer named L.L. Walker. He was in the area that night that Betty and Vickie encountered the object. He said, and quote, "My wife Maria and I returned from her mother and dad's. As we were coming out of the tree lines, I saw a helicopter. It was shining a spotlight at the ground. Then I heard the noise of other helicopters behind it, and I stopped the car because I didn't know what was going on. The helicopters were military, and they were all flying fairly low to the ground, and all of them had search beams on. I thought maybe there was an airplane down, and they didn't hesitate. They kept going the same direction, which would probably intersect the area where Vickie and her encounter was." So this is a direct quote from an officer in the area.
Yeah.
And I like that he brought up it looked like they were beamed down like they were looking for a shuttle that crashed.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be this would lend us to think that there was an object that came from the sky at a fairly fast speed, but it never actually crashed. It just got right above the level of our Earth, maybe to study, to do whatever. I don't know. So at this point, it's kind of impossible to believe that something didn't happen in this area. Military involvement makes the case seem even more likely. You got any thoughts?
I think there's a little more validity to this with the police officer, being another witness to some stuff going on that night. I guess I just want to know if there were any other witnesses that you're going to talk about that also saw the helicopters or witnessed the lights or something going on that night.
So most of the witnesses all came out. They were unnamed witnesses, but a lot of them all said the same things, that they heard the noise of a craft. None of them said they saw the craft, but many people saw the helicopters heading in that direction.
Because with that many helicopters,
there's 22 of them. So you're not hiding.
Like we, living here where we live, we have the hospital nearby.
Right.
Every time the helicopter's flying out, I see it.
Right. And I live down by the river. There's a lot of days where the kids are out playing in the yard, and we see military helicopters flying up the river and down the river for training.
Yeah, so if you saw 20 plus.
Yeah, like we see two, we know we saw them.
Yeah.
There's no, all the kids are looking, everybody's pointing.
Yeah.
So
and every time I see a helicopter, same with my boys, we look up and we look at the helicopter. It's just what you do.
I lived right next to the hospital in town, and where the helicopters landed was basically the building. You could see it right from our bedroom. I became so immune to helicopters going over from living there. I don't notice a lot of helicopters going over at this point. I've realized that. My kids will point them out, and I'll be, there it is. It's right above our heads. I feel like that tone, I've just toned that out of my brain. I don't know if it'll ever come back. I doubt it. I don't know.
Unless one hits you right in the forehead.
I probably still won't know.
You're right.
Won't know till it hit me.
And then you'll be gone.
Gone.
Yeah, you won't know.
Be the rapture.
Yeah.
So Vickie and Betty didn't know what to do at this point because they're still experiencing all these symptoms. No one is taking their claims serious. Like I said, they're kicked out of their local church. Everybody's kind of laughing at them. So they reached out to local senators to try to get to the bottom of this because they thought if we can get a good reason or good excuse as to what happened, we'll put validity to our claims, people won't laugh at us anymore.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask too is nobody went out and checked for like radioactivity in this area.
They didn't, no,
Yeah.
because I feel like still in the 80s. This is kind of like a newer thing to us. You know,
like
as
now
far as
I'm sure you
testing.
could get on Amazon and buy one for.
yeah.
I mean, I have a radon detector over there.
Yeah, you put a radon
know.
detector out there.
$20.
$20. Well, I don't know if that works. You said you had a buttload of radon down here, didn't you?
Yeah, I called and talked to this company close to us, and she said that the recent storm, I guess when it rains, big thunderstorms and stuff bring the radon up like really quick or something and causes these peak levels on these sensors.
Oh, nice.
But she's like,
Super helpful.
don't worry about that. She's like, what's that go up to? I'm like 96 hours. She's like, yeah, just pay attention to the level at 96 hours. She's like, if it's under 4, you're good. I'm like, I'm at like a 1.9. She's like, oh. She's like, you don't need anything. She's like, we put in these mitigation systems in people's houses, and they don't read under a 1.9 most of the time. So she's like, you're good.
Yeah, she's like, I'd roll around down there naked. I ain't scared.
Yeah.
I don't care about nothing.
But she did say, she's like, if you got some cracks down there in your concrete, she said,
Seal the bitches.
yeah, seal them fuckers up.
Seal them bitches as fast
Yeah.
as you can, or you will
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
I ain't rolling on them naked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the local senators told her to pursue legal action because this was even above them and really anything that a local senator could help
Legal
with.
action for what? Like,
For their injuries that they're suffering.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they've been multiple days in the hospital from this. So plus the slander and everything, you know, they're entitled to something.
defamation?
Defamation.
That's what I meant.
There you go.
Yeah. Knew it was close.
Reaching out, I wouldn't have got it if you didn't. If you would have said it right, I would have said it wrong then.
That's
so
why we're peanut butter and fluff.
that's right. So reaching out and questioning the Air Force led to a meeting with Vickie and Betty at the Air Force base.
Oh, shit.
So when you take everything so far, does it seem weird that the base would have a meeting with them if there was nothing going on? So why, like, if I'm an Air Force base and I look at Vickie and Betty and it's like, yeah, they're just hoaxers that are hoaxing for money. Am I going to set up a meeting and bring them in for a meeting?
No, why would you waste your time?
It's crazy. I like that. That's almost admitting guilt by just having a meeting and bringing them in for the meeting.
Yeah.
You're admitting some sort of guilt then.
Because, I mean, you're wasting your time, your resources to talk to these two ladies.
Yeah.
For what?
And at this point in this meeting that we're going to get to, there's high-ranking military involvement in this. It's not some Joe Schmo cadet that's just coming in and taking notes for what they say and then moving on.
So they're going to tell them, hey, you guys didn't see anything.
Yeah. That's it.
Stop. Yeah, you guys didn't see
Yeah,
anything?
shut your freaking
Yeah.
mouth. So one of the first things that the two women saw when they entered the meeting was a clearly marked map that had the exact location of the incident on it, which I think is hilarious because I could just see him walking in and seeing that map and some guy just covering it up like with his body like, keep moving, ladies, nothing to see here. It's like, why would you put that
Yeah.
map right there?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah,
Why would you put that
don't
map
pay
right there?
attention to the man over there.
And that's what
behind the
makes me
curtain.
realize it was true.
Yeah.
Because like that is 1,000% what would happen. Like, oh shit, they're here.
Yeah.
And the guy just throws coffee on it real quick. It doesn't do anything, but just makes a big
Just
brown
spins
stain.
the board around because it's on wheels.
So they proceed to have a 2-hour-long meeting with officials.
2 hour.
They were questioned, and they were given absolutely no answers to any of their questions. In the end, they were told by two high-ranking officials that there was nothing going on in this area, and if there was anything done in this area, it wasn't done by the Air Force. Which, there's nothing going on, at least by us. So, see you later. All that was said was that they would have the right to a case for damages that could be filed against the Air Force and of the government. So they did file a case for the sum of $20 million in restorations paid to them.
Damn.
Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but it would seem like something like this would be filed and it would be placed in legal limbo forever.
Yeah. They'd be dead before it became
That's what
available.
I think as soon as I hear. But it wasn't. It was answered in a matter of 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Holy
That's
shit.
crazy. So 4 weeks means you have people on it. Like,
Yeah, give these
push
these
this.
ladies their money. And let's...
Well, the claim was denied.
Ooh.
That's right. The claim was denied, saying there was no evidence of anything being done by them that would constitute any kind of payment or that there was any guilt in wrongdoings. So there's something interesting that I read later on about it. Basically, they said that it wasn't them that caused any damage.
It wasn't the Air Force, you're saying?
It wasn't the Air Force that caused any damage. So if it was extraterrestrial, that wouldn't be the Air Force, so it's not their fault.
Yeah, so extraterrestrial has to pay the money. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
But that's basically how it went.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, it wasn't us that did it. It might have been an alien. It could have been somebody interdimensional. It could have been anything like that. It could have been the Russians. It wasn't us, so we don't got to pay you shit. And you would think $20 million seems like a small drop in the bucket to just pay them to just because you're basically paying them for the health of the rest of their lives. It's
Which
not that
probably
crazy.
isn't going to be long with as much of the radioactivity that they were.
No, because they have long struggles past this that we'll get in later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Damn.
I just thought that was so interesting that basically their claim was that we don't have to pay for this because if it was extraterrestrial, that's not us.
Which, I mean,
Yeah,
I could
true. Yeah,
flipping it over on their side. Okay,
yeah.
I could see it.
But to just deny any involvement in it,
Yeah,
they were involved.
They were involved.
So over the next 18 years, the two fought tooth and nail, not for money or fame.
So we're up to like 2000 almost. The year
But yeah, we're
2000.
pushing it. Yeah, we're 98.
98.
They pushed for the truth. They just wanted to know what gave them the radiation poisoning, and they just wanted to know that they weren't crazy.
Yeah.
Like they needed to they wanted their name to be made clean through all this.
And it doesn't seem like they have a reason to make this shit up.
They're getting nothing.
Yeah, like what?
And they didn't really, I mean, they pursued this legal case and stuff, but they pursued this legal case from the advice of the Air Force.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like it's a cash grab here.
No,
from
not at all.
Everything you've been going over.
And that's what you get into with a lot of these cases, but this just really doesn't read that. So for years to come, Betty is plagued by one cancer after another. Breast cancer causing her to have her breast removed. But no matter what they do, the tumors on her body continue to come back. And what's even worse is doctors struggle to treat her because she was already exposed to so much radiation that they can't treat her with radiation. They can't do it because there's been so much exposed to her body. Her body is never recovered from the radiation that it experienced that night. So they have to do all kind of goofy off the wall treatments more or less to try and treat her.
Interesting.
So that was Betty. Vickie, she starts to lose her vision and had skin issues in the years after the incidents, and her eyes never fully recovered.
What about the 7-year-old?
Even the 7-year-old Colby. So this was really interesting. So he experienced some side effects. A lot of witnesses that spent a lot of time around Colby said he would just be out playing. This is a 7-year-old kid, so even 8, 9, 10-year-old. He'd just be out playing, and he would just stop and start rubbing his eyes. And he would always be complaining of how hot his skin felt. He would always say how hot his skin felt. And this is a kid at this time, and as far as I know, he's still living. He's 46.
I was going to say
well,
probably
40,
around 50.
46 plus 7, so
Like
53.
low 50s,
Yeah. So, I mean, he's 53 right now. And you would think if he was dealing with that as a child, I would hazard a guess that he's dealing with this for pretty much his entire life.
Yeah, he's probably got no skin at this point.
Got no skin.
Yeah, he probably got that shit all cut off because it's just to burn him.
What's keeping him together? Cling wrap.
Yeah,
like
the
plastic wrap.
wrap.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. The good stuff,
or
though.
Bubble wrap if he's clumsy.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So this all stands out, but what is really interesting is the fact that doctors cannot determine what kind of radiation they were originally exposed to. They ran tests, and everything that was tested came back as something that, as far as we know, is totally undiscovered on our planet. And the radiation remains a mystery to this day because the vehicle didn't have the damage that would correspond with the blast of radiation from anything we know. With the amount of radiation they got, it should have really killed them pretty much immediately. But it didn't. Like, they were exposed to this high level of radiation that it would be basically the equivalent to like when the bombs were dropped on Japan. Like these people were just eviscerated immediately over there. That's the levels of radiation that these women have experienced from this, but yet they don't have the side effects.
So what saved them?
I don't know if there's anything that did save them. I think it was just some kind of radiation from another planet that we don't know of. Affects our bodies differently.
Yeah. I want to know if anybody tested the area.
Well, nobody did.
Well, son of a bitches.
I mean, the government probably did, but they're never going to tell you.
Yeah, they ain't going to tell you.
I assume they did when they dug up the ground and everything, took it away
they
to
took all
test and all
took
that.
all the radiation away.
So there are a lot of leading theories, and one of the leading theories is the secret government craft. So people connect this case with the Black Budget Aerospace Project. So these are highly classified military aircraft programs that operated in secret during the Cold War. So in the late 1970s and early 1980s, the U.S. was developing advanced stealth and experimental technology that the public knew almost nothing about. Some famous real-life examples were the Lockheed F-117 Nighthawk, which was developed in secret during the late 1970s and officially revealed years later. People reported a strange triangular or glowing aircraft long before the government admitted it existed. You also have the Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, so earlier than Cash-Landrum, but another example of a plane so advanced that people sometimes mistook it for UFOs. You had the Lockheed Skunkworks, which is a legendary secretive division tied to many classified aircraft projects. And of course, you had Area 51, frequently linked to testing experimental aircrafts under extreme secrecy. So this theory makes a lot of sense given that helicopters that were seen chasing after the craft that Vickie and Betty saw. One of the biggest knocks on this theory is the question is why it would be flying around this road at night. Why this part of rural Texas and not the deserts of the west where it could be done much more quietly? Also, why did it hover above them for so long? So what do you think of that theory?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still sticking with what I think. From what I said from the beginning.
So you also have a genuine UFO sighting. Believers argue the case was alien over government, so the type of radiation not known to us is a big knock towards the alien craft. The movement of the craft, unlike anything we know over 45 years later, the shape, which the women described as diamond-shaped and upright, not flat. And this pushed back at the government theory because we know nothing about the shape of the said aircraft. So there are other theories involving the storytelling that it was exaggerated. It also says that it got into something almost entirely involved, but a lot of people think that this was a weapon, not an aircraft. So could this be a weapon? If so, why test it right then and there? As far as the UFO versus government angle, where do you stand?
I just have a hard time believing that it's a type of government weapon. Because like what you just said, why then at that time? Why wasn't it used in a desert or, New Mexico or somewhere else if it was a, government experiment?
One of the things that I could argue with that logic is we've seen how much the government just loves to do stuff right in front of us and see how we react.
That's what I was thinking too. That was going to be my next thing. Like, yeah, were they just doing it so they could see how it affects the civilians out there?
It could be.
What's said about it, what's done, some of that stuff. Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's it's hard to say like one way or another, but it feels like there's something.
There's something to it. They brought those women in for a meeting. In my mind, this was to see what these women saw and knew so far, so they could get a gauge on what these women actually knew.
Mm-hmm.
If that was the case, I could lean it being more of a military aerospace craft of some sort. I don't know. I really
it could have been the flip side too. It could have been if it was an alien craft, UFO, whatever. They could have been questioning them to see what they saw about that, to see what they can then spread amongst the population on that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's weird that they brought them in for fucking 2 hours.
2 hours.
Like 2 hours.
Yep.
Like if it was nothing, it'd have been like, 15 minutes.
And they told them to file the lawsuit. They more or less looked at them and said, "Hey, file this lawsuit." They knew they weren't going to pay this lawsuit out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that it got answered in 4 weeks, that they knew that this lawsuit was not going to be. But why would they want that lawsuit on paper? Unless they wanted, for some reason, this lawsuit to be on paper because it would, I don't know, somehow make it. I don't know. It's just so confusing to understand the logic behind a lot of the moves.
All right, so I know back then too, just based off my book, a lot of the different military branches were kind of a competition against each other.
Yeah.
For like budgets and stuff. So what if the Air Force were telling these women to go through with this because in some twisted way it increases the publicity of the Air Force based off of some of the other military branches or some shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't. But you know what I do want to do? I want to folklore score this bitch.
Ooh.
Yeah, though this isn't normal for a UFO sighting, but I want to folklore score this
Let's
bitch.
folklore score
See
this
if it-
son of a bitch.
Let's see if freaking Dybbuk box could be a little scared up there.
Oh, we're back with that folklore score, and we're ready to dig into this and see if it makes the board.
Makes the board. It's gotta take out Dybbuk box at number 10 with a score of 67 if it wants to make this board. What do you think it's going to make the board?
I think it's going to be just short.
I could go. I could agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
I got a 30. Can I guess yours?
Sure.
You have a 32?
No.
Okay. I got a 33.
Out of 31.
31. So it is just short.
Yeah.
64 is
Yeah,
what
it
the
was
folklore score is.
right there.
Man, so I guess 32. I was pretty close.
I know. If you
I'm in your
would've got-
brain,
You
dude.
son of
I'm
a
in your
bitch.
brain.
You are in my fucking brain.
So if you don't know how the folklore score, we have 5 categories that we judge everything on a scale 1 to 10. We each write our scores down. We add them together to get our personal folklore score, and then we take each of our scores, smush them together to see if it makes the folklore score board. So Corey, we'll go down through our scores. Spookiness, I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 7.
It's just this one was so hard. 'Cause
Just
I
the
feel like
radioactivity. I feel
Yeah.
like that is just fucking scary.
for historical cultural significance, I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I feel
Thought
like
it was-
the government buried this
Mm-hmm.
like they normally do.
Yeah.
For believability, I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7.
For uniqueness, I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6.
And then for threat level, I gave it a 10 because nothing's more threatening than the U.S. government.
I gave it an 8, so I mean, I was
Yeah.
up there.
So it just missed the board. High score, nonetheless.
That's our highest score in a long time.
Yeah, I think this might be our first 60.
You fucker.
What? It's going to be our first 60 you ever
Son
had
of-
on the cast. That's crazy.
Son of a
You guys are
bitch.
here for history. The first 60 of the Cracking Cans podcast. But listen, if you guys enjoyed what you listened to, make sure to hop over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We're over there pumping out content all the time. We're loving life. We're living our best life. You can see pictures of our faces as Corey cleans his gutters because that's the kind of stuff we post.
Hell yeah.
And if you liked what you heard, just give us a 5-star review. Write us a review. You write us a review on Apple, we'll read it on the podcast. I ain't scared.
Yeah. And you get stickers. You send us a screenshot of your 5-star review. Send it to crackincanscast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We'll send you some stickers for free. All it takes is 10 seconds of your time.
We want to shout out Evan for the email and the 5-star review. We got your stickers in the mail. We hope you enjoy. And thank you for becoming a member of the Crack House. If you want to shout it out, just send us an email. Tell us you want your stickers. We'll send them. We'll send them. They will be shipped out.
Mike will send them.
I will. Yep.
Yeah.
I got a whole new thing of stamps.
And you got all the stickers, too.
I
so-
do have all the stickers, but I got new stamps. That was what was holding me up before.
Okay.
Yep. I finally ran out of my Virgin Mary stickers that I was using for several send-outs because they were the only ones I could find in my house.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm Crack Daddy Mike. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm out of here.
I am the BK Corey, also known as Mr. Fluff, and I am out of here. Mike's dumb.
Corey's stupid, and he's stupid. And he's stupid,
Dumb, 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 capital D, dumb.
Like join the quest with cracking pens, you'll find the best.